Hi, Beth here from Menopause Manipulated No More. The idea that menopause treatment has been over-medicalized is absurd. Over-medicalized means treatment is given when treatment is not needed. Menopause causes real diseases and responds extraordinarily well to appropriate treatment. So where did the idea that menopause is over-medicalized and that it wouldn't benefit greatly from treatment come from? This idea came from clinical trials that were designed to mislead you into thinking menopause couldn't be treated safely and effectively with any hormone regimen. These clinical trials were sponsored by Wyeth Pharmaceuticals. There is a formula that has been used for decades by Wyeth Pharmaceuticals to satisfy its insatiable need to make more money by undermining older women's health. It's a formula for manipulation, and this is how it's done. First, Wyeth either funds a clinical trial directly themselves or pays a university or research institution to run a clinical trial that will use Premarin, a Wyeth drug, and will agree to call it something other than Premarin. Renaming Premarin is an important part of this formula. Wyeth needs the public and the medical community to connect the outcome of the clinical trial with this new nickname and not Premarin. Second, absolutely no hormone testing is to be done, and this is non-negotiable. Wyeth knows that Premarin contains at least 250 active hormones. Wyeth is serious that no hormone levels are measured before or after taking Premarin. Third, the results of the clinical trial must use the nickname that was agreed to when the funding of the trial was accepted. Again, this is non-negotiable. Fourth, no one asks any questions about why Premarin must be renamed with a nickname and why hormone tests can't be done. Now I'll show you some real-life examples. In the 1990s, Wyeth approached the National Institutes of Health and convinced them to run clinical trials that would use Premarin. The NIH agreed to describe Premarin differently for each clinical trial. In one trial, Premarin was nicknamed estrogen replacement. In another trial, Premarin was nicknamed estrogen intervention. In another trial, Premarin was nicknamed hormone replacement therapy. The NIH didn't do any hormone testing in any of these clinical trials. The NIH published the results of these clinical trials with the nickname that went with each trial as they agreed to with Wyeth. And lastly, no questions were asked. The NIH is one of the most respected research institutions in the world. Making this deal with Wyeth proved the integrity of the NIH can be bought for the right price. If the scientists at the NIH spoke up, it is likely they would have said the following: it is impossible for Premarin to provide hormone replacement of any estrogen hormone, including estradiol. Any benefits from estradiol would be sabotaged by the competition for a woman's estrogen receptors from the hundreds of active estrogen horse hormones which are replenished every day with a Premarin pill. And they would end their statement with, there is no known condition that would benefit from Premarin that is worth the serious side effects of ingesting hundreds of active horse hormones on a daily basis that attack a woman's estrogen receptors. But no one from the NIH spoke up. Wyeth gives healthy-sounding names to Premarin to gain doctors' confidence to prescribe Premarin to women. By doing this, Wyeth has literally created a Trojan horse filled with hundreds of fetal horse hormone soldiers to declare war on the health of menopausal women. Then Wyeth just sits back as women's bodies are attacked every day when this Trojan horse is replenished daily. Menopause has not been over-medicalized. Instead, Wyeth has created a misinformation industry, so women think it is over-medicalized, but it isn't. Wyeth is actively engaged in creating roadblocks for menopausal women to find effective treatment. Recognize it and find yourself a doctor who can see the forest for the trees.